Hey everyone, my name is Tania. So this week we had to choose between whether we wanted to do chapter 1 or chapter 2, and I decided to choose chapter 1, which is basically talking about the tools for ethical when making ethical decision making. To begin with this chapter was actually very interesting to me, and it was a lot of things that I learned from this chapter that I didn't really take notice of before until I actually read the chapter and really got a back view on how things actually will be when making ethical decisions and how often ethics is used throughout our daily life. So throughout the chapter, it goes into different forms of decision making, and it went on to describe how ethics is used. Ethics became more established from three philosophers. Let me look at my notes. Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Sorry for I don't really know how to pronounce them, but their viewpoints towards ethic was to put ethics on the same level as we think about ourselves, which was really informing. At first I was really like what do you mean by that? But basically what they're saying is we must understand ethics to be able to apply ethics in our everyday life and use it effectively, if that makes sense to. But mainly it's just how we use ethics, how we apply ethics in areas that we use in our everyday life that can build our own characters. Our character is a representation on what we stand for and our overall viewpoints on a lot of things we view in life in general. So that ties in together with ethics. I really don't have my notes. So okay, so the book did a great job with explaining how ethics can be found, and it can be used, how it can be found in religion, acts and duties. For example, Johnson Ross mentioned how it's perfectly normal to focus on ourselves, but we can't always just focus on ourselves. We have to think about other people and how things that we may do and how we use ethics can affect people, whether it be feelings, emotions, and etc. And because so with that, believe it or not, what we say and do actually affects other people more than we think. We don't think of it as much as a big deal when we're sitting, but after the fact, people take that and adjust that and figure out, like, what was being said, what you meant by it, and interpret how a conversation goes on with when you say things to people and how you say things to people. So to conclude, my main thing, ethics is used a lot, and at the very beginning of the book it mentioned that leaders of our youth shape our shaping the youth to come, and so forth and so forth. So what I took from that was very, very important thing to take from the whole lesson, is because without my teachers, my family members, friends, and etc., people who are in my daily life help me to shape my views in how I see ethics and how I interpret ethics. So with having these leaders and people to look up to throughout the years has actually molded me into who I am and how I go about certain things when it comes to ethics. So with reading that, I took an evaluation towards myself to understand that, okay, when I use ethics, how do I use ethics? How can I become better with using ethics that next time present? So it was really interesting. So from that, I would know that my siblings, my nieces, my nephews, my friends, my family members, people, my cousins look up to me. So it's very important that I do my best with doing ethics and using it in my everyday life. And that's pretty much it.